I think a lot of people were speculating whether Ollie is attracted to Demi, and I feel like these last chunk of episodes definitely confirm that he does not. It seemed like at every opportunity he was just letting us know that he does not find Demi attractive. And Demi just seems to be very oblivious to this. Like when he first saw Catherine, he couldn't even like fix his face, hide his face. He's like making that face like a dog. On top of that disrespect, he, obviously Catherine goes and speaks to Ollie because she wants to, hash things out because she's offended that he basically said that he cut off with her when it was the other way around. He's gushing to her about her looks, basically, essentially asking her if he finds her attractive. Catherine is actually trying to keep it cute here and basically say, yeah, she's happy for him and Demi and she's happy with Freddie. But Ollie is butting in and basically saying, well, regardless of what has happened, regardless of me and Demi, regardless of you and Freddie, you can't deny that we had a vibe. A vibe? What the fuck is a vibe, Ollie? Sorry, I can't take grown men who converse like this seriously. So I feel like he was definitely trying to leave the door open there with Catherine. And he was just failing to read the room. Because it's very clear to me, like, that Ollie is just Catherine's plaything. Like, she just used him for attention, but she was always going to end up with somebody who looks like Freddie. She was always going to end up with a white guy. Catherine very much gives, she flirts with black and mixed men for attention and an ego boost. She very much gives that, and Ollie fell right into that. And then on top of that, disrespect. Basically, he's basically talking about the butterfly effect to all of the couples, like saying, oh, we all dated each other and like a twist of fate, we all could have ended up with other people. Meanwhile, everybody else is saying, oh no, it was meant to be. Like, we're very much meant to be in the couples that we chose. Awkward. And again, he's just revealing himself as being unattracted to Demi. Like, why are you fantasizing about different scenarios, please? And no one's back in your fantasy as well. Embarrassing. Also, the fact that he's more than happy to wait till after marriage to have sex and pretty much emphasizing the fact why they shouldn't, because they should build their emotional connection first, pretty much says it all. Also, Jasmine's bullshit detector was going off. We know Jasmine can identify the red flags. And her detective was going off with Ollie. And she basically confronts him and is like, do you like Demi or not? And she was grilling him. She was going in. She wasn't letting him breathe. And you could just see Ollie just getting more and more frustrated. Because he was focusing on, not slipping up. Because Jasmine was definitely trying to slip him up. But my girl Jasmine can see right through him. And so can I. Also, when the couples were meeting, he was just avoiding Demi the whole night. Like, everybody was in their couples, but he was just avoiding Demi the whole night. And what I find, like, even more insidious about that is that after that whole situation happened, he kind of flipped it on Demi, like, oh, Demi was being really quiet. Demi was being very distant. No, you started it, Ollie. Like, you made her awkward and uncomfortable, so of course she's going to be distant. And it's very typical, he does something wrong, but somehow flips it back on Demi. And he's probably going to use like instances like this to tally up why ultimately he doesn't want to marry her. And another red flag in this whole spanner of him not liking Demi is that when Jasmine was clocked, essentially he kind of isolated himself from the group. He told Demi he doesn't really want to see the group anymore. He kind of wants to focus on their relationship with just them two without any quote unquote outside noise. And the reason why he didn't want outside noise is because he didn't want more and more people clocking onto the fact that he isn't attracted to Demi and he doesn't really like her like that. So the least eyes on him, the better, because Demi is so delusional. She keeps explaining away all of his problematic and red flag behavior as, people don't know him like I do. I've seen the vulnerable side to him, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's giving, the wife on TikTok or the girlfriend on TikTok, and she's videoed her boyfriend doing something bad. And she's put it online, and now everybody's grilling the boyfriend. But then she's like, or the husband, and then they make a follow-up video and saying, oh, guys, you guys don't know him like I do. Like, he's actually a really good boyfriend, husband, blah, blah, blah. That's what Demi is giving. Like, she's giving like how Ayana was sitting next to Jarrett, looking like an idiot, defending him at the reunion. And once they have their time alone, the disrespect doesn't stop there. Because once they're back out again with the whole cast, when everybody meets up, the disrespect continues. And then we see again more representation of the trenches of the London dating scene. We see all the London boys get together and basically say, well, you know, what girl do you think is fit? Or should I say, what did they say? What female did they like the look of? And I saw some videos saying they wanted to see more of that. I think his name is Jordan guy in the pods and other people. I think we saw all we needed to see. I think we saw why the other women were struggling to find a mate. I think we see. But anyway, at first, he keeps it classy. He says there's no other woman I'd want to be with. I'm good with Demi. But of course, you know, the disrespect can't help but slip out the mouth. Because as soon as he sees Charlotte, he can't help himself and say, oh, I can't lie. Like, Charlotte is a 10 out of 10. Like, she's a baddie. And, you know, Charlotte, she's a gorgeous woman. She is a 10 out of 10. But read the room, Ollie. Read the room. Because Demi's going to see this. And now I'm sure she has seen it by now, and it's just not looking good. Because, you know, some people were speculating, like, does Ollie only like white girls? And some people were like saying, well, he must like Demi because she's mixed race. And I feel like some people were confused when I said, like, Demi is not the type of mixed race that Ollie likes. Now, if you compare Charlotte and we compare Demi, Charlotte is the type of mixed race that Ollie is attracted to, not Demi, unfortunately. So now basically where we're at now is that they're about to get married. Demi is besottled with him. Ollie has kind of seemingly convinced himself that he can marry Demi because, you know, like I said before, she makes a great submissive wife. He can do no wrong in her eyes. She's always going to explain away his questionable, problematic behavior. Like, she even romanticized his horrible proposal when he was basically like, I've done nothing for you. I'm not going to get you no gifts. I'm not going to get you nothing because we're real. We're natural, stripped back. Meanwhile, she did the most for his birthday party. Talking about the proposal was so beautiful because it was beautifully said. I'm sure if he made a poem about how he's going to steal her life savings and fuck off, she would be like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I feel my girl Demi is going to be a Love is Blind victim. So yeah, as I was saying, where did they stand now? They're basically about to get married. Like I said, Ollie has, I feel like, convinced himself that, you know, Demi will make, you know, a nice, submissive, agreeable wife. We've seen Ollie meet her friends, her family. Did we see Demi meet Ollie's family? Like, I'm very confused with that. I was like, did I skip? Like, was I, you know, not paying attention? But we didn't see Ollie meet Demi's family. And also, that just wasn't addressed. It wasn't like they met in the background and they talked about it. It just wasn't addressed in the edit at all. So I don't know whether Demi met Ollie's family or whether she met his family off camera, but they didn't give their rights to be on TV, because obviously after you film and everything, you have to sign your rights over to be on TV. So I feel like the only reason why we wouldn't have seen Demi meet Ollie's family or friends is because they didn't sign their rights to be on TV. Now, why wouldn't they give their rights? Why would they film? Let's say that Demi did meet Ollie's family and this was all filmed. Why would they film but then not sign the rights to be on TV? To me, that's very suspicious and I think very calculated. And that makes me believe that maybe Ollie told his people, don't give your rights to be on TV. I don't want you guys on TV. And maybe it's because he's not going to marry Demi and there's going to be some bullshit coming out. Because that's the only reason why we haven't seen it. Maybe we're going to see it next episode, but it seems like we're getting the final dates. We're wrapping shit up. So I don't think that they're going to get married. Because he's talking about, I feel like they're going to be better off as friends. I think so too. So what do you guys think? Are they going to get married or not? Well, let me know.